What is going on, everyone? I'm sharing an unknown superior defense that I discovered for black to use against the Caro-Kann HillBilly attack. There's no tutorial or titled match in any of the online databases, not a trace at either 365 Chess, Chess.com, Lead Chess, Chess Games, or any other. This ain't no joke. This will change the way that the HillBillies played. I discovered it last year, made a short tutorial, but I'm diving in much deeper now, so I hope it gains a little more traction. In the Caro-Kann, e4, c6, bishop c4 is the HillBilly attack. The proper way to defend is continuing as normal with d5. Masters don't capture that pawn. Instead, they retreat bishop to b3. Then we can play the some-dumb trucker defense, a5. The threat a4, trapping the bishop, must be taken care of right now. Stepping back, the analysis, a5 is the second best by just a small margin. I say it's the best, as black, move 3, we're forcing white's moves, and we're also going to be kicking that bishop off the f7 diagonal, the main reason the HillBillies played in the first place. The main line captures e4, opening back up that f7 diagonal. Queen h5 and the bishop immediately threaten our king. e6 and g6 are the best ways to block this attack. In the e6 line, look at our best move after they play, a5 for any of black's moves. In the g6 line, it's the same thing for the top 4 moves. Some dumb trucker a5 is overlooked and never played. Backing up to the main line, a5, let's look at white's options. We'll finish the video on 4 questionable moves, a3, c3, c4, and knight c3. We'll first look at the 2 main replies, a4 and e captures d5. If pawn takes d5, we do not capture it back. Instead, push a4. This forces the bishop to c4. It's the only move that saves it. Now we can capture d5, kicking the bishop off that f7 diagonal. It has 4 safe squares. If it moves back to d3, e2, or f1, then we push e5. We have full center control and should have an excellent game. If the bishop goes to b5 with check, we block the check with bishop on d7. If the bishop captures ours, we capture with the queen. White may also play queen e2, protecting the bishop. Capture the bishop in that case. After the queen recaptures, we block that check with the queen. If the queen captures ours, believe it or not, the king takes back. Now let's back up and take a look at the next possibility. After our a4, playing a5 stops the a-pawn from advancing, preventing the bishop trap. Only good move is to capture e4. Just like the main line, black's queen h5 adds pressure to f7. e6 and g6 both block threat. I suggest g6, kicking the queen. h4 and e2 both aim the queen to capture the e4 pawn next turn. Develop knight a6 with intentions of c5 to threaten bishop. Queen capturing e4 turns the knight to c5 into a queen-bishop fork. The queen has 2 main ideas. First is preventing ugly pawns. Only f3, e3, and c4 let the queen safely defend the b3 bishop. After knight takes the bishop, queen recapture avoids ugly pawns. Backing up, if c-pawn recaptures, it ruins the pawn structure. It creates an isolated queen pawn and doubles the b-pawns. That's one reason the some-dumb trucker defense is better. White's a-pawn that moved normally recaptures, now can't. The queen now has the extra duty of staying able to recapture. Backing up, the other idea is actually a blunder we'll go over now. Instead of a defensive queen, an offensive queen goes to e5, forks the rook and knight. We ignore white's attack and capture the b3 bishop with our knight. If the rook is taken, taking their rook wins with an evaluation of -9. If the g8 knight is also captured, evaluation's now closer to -13. With our knight capturing the c2 square with check after, it should be a very easy position to be victorious. Backing up, we'll cover all the other moves that save the bishop now.